is gonna save you. Jesus. The Republicans will save you from the dirty Jew.
Welcome, everybody. Mark Scotty reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Happy holiday. Happy holiday to you and yours. We're here. We're live. We made it. It's January 2nd, 2023. Where were you when the ball dropped? Oh, my God. It's a new year, and we're loving it. We're absolutely loving it, man. We're transforming. Welcome, everybody. Jim Gerard in the house. Wee Will Girl. How are you? We're going to talk about a hot button issue. I guess hot button. Is it hot? When you talk about Jesus. Oh, we're going to talk about Jesus. There's a very interesting story, a biblical story, if you're interested, about the prophet Jesus. A place, Siloam, the pool of Siloam, as described in John 9, was a place where Jesus healed a man who was blind. He was blind his whole life, couldn't see a damn thing. And suddenly, Jesus, he came across Jesus, and Jesus saved him. And they're opening it up. The Jews of Israel are finally over there in Jerusalem, opening up the pool of Solomon, Siloam, to anybody who cares to jump in and heal themselves. Right? There's a long history of that. Is it true? Is it real? Is it fictional? Well, we'll take a look. We'll take a look at the evidence that is now rolling out, alleged evidence of the existence of the pool. There is people pointing to it in the Bible, and it now seems that they've discovered it. They've refilled it with water. And it's going to be open it up. It's like it's like Action Park for Christians. You go there and you get yourself some healing, right? And I don't know. Is it? This is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Thomas Slater says, "Defund Israel." Fuck you, man.
Motherfucker.
Defund Israel. I got a new toy here, so I'm going to be playing with it a little bit. I got a new toy for New Year's, man, because I'm just a big kid. Also in news, the Republicans, as of tomorrow, the Republicans will be kicking the Democrats out of the leadership role in the House of Representatives, and are making wild promises about going after, at this point, Dr. Fauci, possibly, and the many lies that he may have told to the American people that hurt us rather than help us, because that's what these guys are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to help us, not hurt us. What else? There's another story. Elon Musk. The Ohio Killer. The guy who brutally destroyed, killed, stabbed to death in their sleep in the great state of Ohio at a local college. They found him 7 weeks later. The FBI finally got him. And he was off over here in Pennsylvania, northeast Pennsylvania, hiding. They found him over there in Monroe County. That's a few minutes away from me. It's like less than an hour away. Minutes away, actually, and maybe I'll go over there. Hopefully, somebody saw him, right? How does a killer in Ohio, a killer from Ohio, this guy that doesn't belong there, wandering around the streets of Monroe County in Pennsylvania, living there? Somebody must have seen him. I mean, I'm now the recipient of being part of a smaller community, and it looks like people know you're fucking there, right? Even when you weren't there, they knew it, and then suddenly you're there and they know it. So who in Monroe County Just a question in Pennsylvania: who saw the killer? But they got him, and 7 weeks later they finally bagged him. And brutal murder, DNA match, car match. They got some evidence. The FBI. We can't call him the murderer yet. He's a suspect and the prime suspect. Give him his due day. Those are the top stories today. I'm fascinated by the Jesus story, really, because I believe in healing. I believe that once one believes in something, they have this. They inherit this incredible transformational power, one pointedness. And I don't know. Can you heal the blind? If you're blind, can you suddenly be healed, or do you need a great healer like Jesus to do it for you? And other types of healing, like fucking your mind is racing and you can't stop it, or you're full of fear and anxiety and hope for a better New Year, right? How many people made a New Year's resolution? Right, today is the first real day of the year, outside of the holiday. Everybody sets up and says, "Oh, you're sitting around New Year's with your friends and say, oh man, 2022 sucked. It was so bad. I hated it. I'm so glad to see it go. Next year is going to be so much better. I'm going to write a list, a Christmas list to the cosmos, and I'm going to get all of these things, and then I will be happy." It sounds something like that. Or you could heal yourself right now and fall to your knees to the great healers like Jesus or somebody like that. So welcome everybody. Small crowd today. Good morning everybody. Love you guys. That's my thumbnail today. There's my thumbnail. Jesus, the healer of the Jew. A bunch of Jews came around, right? They were all Jews at the time, Jesus included. And this guy was blind, and Jesus did a couple of things. He spat on the floor and mixed it in with the mud, packed the guy's eyeballs, and then told him, run down to fucking Siloam, the river, the pool, and clean yourself. And from there, he came back seeing. Fascinating story. Powerful, amazing, magnificent. All right, the healer, Jesus, from heaven, right? Son of God, doing all this for us. Doing all this for us. How are we sounding in the chat, by the way? Give me thumbnail today. There's my thumbnail. Gosh. Shut up, Conti. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if we're loud and clear, because I'm testing a new toy over here, and let me know if you can hear me. Just give me a little affirmation. Conti, you sound amazing, or you suck, man. You suck. Let me know, man. There's a bit of a delay too. I think I'm a full 1 minute in your future, so I'll wait for that response. And tomorrow, great. I have a very, very interesting guest that's going to join us. I'm very curious of the power of meditation and mindfulness, and I have a special guest lined up. I'm not going to give it away, and he's a senior teacher, a guy who knows a lot about this sort of thing, and he's going to be my special guest for the hour tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that one. It's going to be good. Probably centering around. Thank you, Weevil Girl, for the thumbs up. Jim Gerard says 5x5. Thank you very much. So meaning that the audio is good and clear, and I appreciate that. So yeah, that's the thumbnail today. Jesus the healer. We're going to take a look at it, man, because what else are we going to talk about? Why not? Why not take the first day of the year and talk about healing? Right? Healing properties. I got a website. My name is Marcus Conti, and I do have a website every morning at 9 a.m. somewhere, somehow. Even in spite of the massive purge of people speaking online, people that speak with an opinion, we're still here. We're still live. 9 a.m. somewhere. You don't need notification. You just drop in at 9 a.m. Right now on YouTube, YouTube number 1, I have a YouTube number 2, and if those two fail, which they have in the past, we'll head over to D Live. But right now we're 5x5 on YouTube. We love you, YouTube. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. I love this voice.
Keep up the good work, dude.
That's a good sound, right? It's a good sound. I like my reverb, too. Whoa! You could see the potential to get carried away with that, right? I just got carried away. Yeah, so I have a tip jar, too, a way to support the program. You know, sometimes you pop in and it's by donation, and sometimes you donate. Tip jar. I just said Jim Gerard. Why did I say your name? I just read it. Tip jar and Patreon, and there's also a Granny Cat channel for you to enjoy. And again, every morning at 9 a.m. So let's dive in. They got him. Oh my God. Who is Brian Koberger? Koberger. Is he a Jew or is he a German? I don't know. What is he? What is Brian Koberger? What we know about Ohio murderer suspect. There he is. Oh my God. Don't look in his eyes. He looks right through you, man. The guy's a fucking killer. So very interesting profile of the guy. Man arrested over the brutal murders of the 4 University of Ohio students is a crime expert who was studying for a PhD in criminal justice just 10 miles from where the slayings took place. Maybe that's why they didn't find them right away. When does a PhD student brutally murder 4 students? You know, it didn't sound right? So, you know, they're off looking for a thug or some low-level psychopath, and here's a guy who's studying his PhD, which is probably equally as psychopathic in many respects. But it was off the radar 7 weeks. You know, it's pretty impressive, right? To evade the police. Brian Koberger, he's 28 years old, was arrested after a SWAT team made a raid at the location in Chestnut Hill Township in Pennsylvania, where he was staying at around 3 a.m. Friday. So they got him in the middle of the night. They raided him. But why was he, quote, staying in Pennsylvania? We want a little more detail. Did he live there? It doesn't say he lived there. It says that he was staying there. So who was he staying with? Are there any other culprits in this thing? Did he act alone? Where's the knife? They still haven't gotten the weapon yet. Police also seized a white Hyundai Elantra matching the description of a car they had been trying to locate, and Koberger's DNA has been matched to samples recovered at the scene of the killing, according to CNN. So he was there. According to the magical, mystical DNA, he was there. XO Thorno X says, so is he a serial killer? Is he a serial killer, right? I had speculated that, right? Because I speculated he was a serial killer because they didn't catch him yet. And that's kind of sort of an indication of somebody who really knows what they're doing. Right? And this guy did. Why? Because he had a PhD in criminal justice. He knew, there's speculation that he was out on Facebook interviewing hardened criminals, murderers who got, I don't know, either in jail or out of jail. I don't know the full story of it, but he was profiling killers and asking them how. He was asking them very detailed questions about how they did their killings and how they would kill in the future. All right, so he was very interested in killing people. There he is as a child. Let's see if we get some other images. There he is as a young man. He's got a military boy on another military man on his side. There he is with his blue tie. Maybe he's a Democrat. Maybe he's a Republican. Let's find out so we can blame somebody. See, it's the Democrats. See, it's the Republicans. Looks like a pretty normal kid. This is high school shot. What else do we know? Kohlberg was pursuing a doctorate in criminal justice at Washington State University in Pullman, a short drive from Moscow, where the murders took place. He completed his first semester earlier this month. Shortly after his arrest, the university took down a graduate program. There's fake news covering it. Kohlberger was ordered. You know how many of these things I blew the whistle on? Of these covert kind of fake news reporting. Every time you go to a scene where something's breaking story, like, you know, like dead bodies in freezer trucks in Brooklyn, New York, allegedly during COVID, you go there and you see these teams of reporters, and you just listen to the stupid stories they're spinning about absolutely nothing that's actually happening in the moment. And you scream out, fake news. And they don't like that. They don't like when you do that. But, hey, you know, they're seasoned professionals. They're being paid to shut the fuck up and do the story already. So, what else do we know? Well, these are the 4 kids he killed. What a shame. 3 girls and a guy. I wonder who got it first. Who was sleeping with who? Why is this guy hanging out or living with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 21-year-old blonde chicks? Yeah. Why was he there? To me, he was the, I don't know. Maybe the criminal justice guy was saying, you know what? Fuck you, man. I'm going to kill you. And maybe because you shouldn't be allowed to be sleeping with 5 women at once, even if you're not in the same bed. They were all sleeping at the same time. I guess that qualifies as sleeping with 6 women. Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? Yeah. So questions he asked respondents in a some kind of Facebook thing shine light on the crime. He asked respondents, criminals, quote, before making your move, how did you approach the victim or target? Ooh. After committing the crime, what were you thinking and feeling? No serial killers and hardened, you know, killers feel good about it. They feel like they did something, you know, good. Here's another question he asked people at random. Did you prepare for the crime before leaving your home? What were you thinking and feeling at this point? And why did you choose the victim or target over others? Nobody who, I mean, he is a PhD student doing research, and that's actually pretty fair for him to be asking questions like that. But it turns out that he was asking them for all the wrong reasons. He was asking them because I guess he planned to, you know, again, it was a very well executed, with the exception of leaving DNA behind and using his own car and not ditching the car. He was pretty smooth. What kind of DNA? Maybe, you know, police sometimes make that shit up. Yeah, DNA, right? And he's approached and they said, hey man, we got your DNA, you better confess. And they extort a confession out of him without the DNA. And once he's sitting there, they got the DNA. Right, now you got a confession that outweighs the DNA. It solidifies the DNA research. So did he leave DNA behind, or was there some other way that the FBI found him and just, you know, because the FBI that's what they do, you know. Yeah, we got the DNA, man, Judge. We need the warrant to kick down the door, motherfucker. Jonty Tack Gray says, what gloves go with this knife? Does my head look fat in the balasara klabla? I don't know what you're talking about. But the dude was with his girlfriend, says Josephine. Again, I didn't really dive too deep into the story, but I like the pictures. Here they are. Here's the FBI sniffing around. We got him. We got our man. So they got him. It looks like they got him. Whether they tricked him or however they got him, they got him. FBI surveillance team from Philadelphia had been tracking Kohlberger for 4 days before his arrest. So they definitely got him. What other images can we see? It's a hot story, right? He wasn't. Turns out, thus far, it doesn't look like he was. Studied with teacher. Vondeloo says he studied with his teacher, a heroin addict. Well, a lot of people know heroin addicts. He wasn't. Was he a heroin addict himself? That would be interesting. I don't like guilt by association. You see that guy that I just passed in the street? He's a heroin addict, and because you're walking on the street with him, so you're guilty, man. I don't like that. I don't like that kind of. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying that there has to be evidence of something as heavy as a heroin addiction. That's pretty heavy. That would be very heavy if the guy was a heroin addict. So he killed 4 people, and so they got him. Let's move on. So Elon Musk threatening to, not threatening, but teasing, because we want this. It's something we want. It's not a threat. To release the Fauci files. How much involvement? I think we already know the answer. Fauci and the FBI were deeply embedded to the tune of 80 FBI agents at Twitter. Elon Musk revealed it. It's not questionable at this point. It is direct evidence of government interference in a social media network prior to a massive, major presidential election, with a lot of tempers flying and the FBI put their thumb on the scale. They did. They put theirs. It's not cheating. It's not cheating. You can't say cheating. Wait, who said cheating? You said cheating? We don't say cheating here because nobody cheats and nobody rigs. We win. That's all. We win. Like George Santos. You just lie. You just go up and you lie and you cheat and you steal. And whoever's declared the winner, you better fucking fall in line, or you're the bad guy. Fall in line. Fall in line. You lost. Cheating? No, we don't cheat. So Fauci is under fire. But interesting in this clip. I'm gonna play this clip. Elon Musk. What the Republican guy on the right of the screen is going to talk about is that the Republicans are coming into power in one day. And let's see what they say they're going to do. And then he'll talk about Fauci. They'll bring it in. And then we'll talk about Jesus. The great Jesus.
Joins me now, Congressman, a lot to break down there. What else is on the top of your priority list?
Well, we're certainly concerned about inflation. The reason we have inflation in America is because the Democrats in Washington have spent too much money. The one thing that we can do in a divided Congress is put the brakes on runaway spending. What I want to do as the next chairman of the House Oversight Committee is identify waste, fraud, abuse, mismanagement, and corruption within the federal government and actually hold people accountable and try to do something about it to reduce spending, to try to get inflation in check.
Are you confident that Republicans can undo what Democrats?
He said the Democrats spent too much money. That's his big. That's the Republicans' big argument. They spent too much money. Now we're going to fix it, and we're going to get that money and give it to our donors instead. Because that's how the shit works here. Those Democrats, they were throwing all that money in the wrong place. We're going to get that money, maybe even use less of it, put the part that we don't give away in our pocket, and we're gonna help you. Right? That's really what he's saying.
Democrats have put in place over the last 2 years.
We're certainly going to try. We're disappointed over the Senate response to the omnibus bill. We think that the Senate could have stuck with the House, passed a continuing resolution.
Let's go up a little bit.
Well, I certainly hope it's Kevin McCarthy. Right now, he has 97%.
He's making a prediction that Kevin McCarthy will be the Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House. And I don't know who moves into Majority Leader. I'm not really sure who it is. I guess it is. Wait a second. Let me. What is Kevin McCarthy?
Transcribed interviews. We're getting our hearing. Going to change tomorrow. We're going to work on.
Oh yeah, he's talking about a lot of hearings coming up. That they're now. I don't want to play the whole thing. It's too long. He's talking about that now that the Republican Party, the other side of the aisle, is going to be in power in the House of Representatives, they're going to go after Fauci. They're going to go after Hunter Biden and Joe Biden with the quid pro quo in Ukraine, causing almost causing a fucking nuclear war. Clearly, power vacuum. Right? And these are questions that you have to ask. These are questions that no way, no how Nancy Pelosi, the Democrat, is going to, these questions are not going to be raised. So as Nancy retires, the Democrats are coming in force. This is democracy in action, right? You go after the other guy's fucking weakness, right? You deflate him so you look bigger and better, and everybody votes for you, thereby, switching the left-right paradigm forever, right? Nobody ever settles in the middle in any of these things. The only one who settles in the middle is you people right here on this channel. We're in the middle, all right? I have no political party. I am neither. I'm not a political party. I do not, exalt any one of the other, right? Democrat versus Republican. I am an American. And I believe that the people are merely elected to execute the Constitution of the United States of America, to support it, to defend it, to understand it, and let the people's voice be heard, right? And AKA stop censoring people from speaking, God damn it. So anyway, they're going to go after Fauci, and let's talk about Jesus. It's far more interesting than that fucking Republican hack. So biblical site. Raise your hands if you're you're for Jesus and God. Are you? Did Jesus heal? We're going to look at this. This is fascinating. I love it. Biblical site where Jesus healed blind man, excavated for public view, affirms Scripture. So there is a story called the Pool of Solomon in John somewhere in the Bible, John 9. And it explicitly talks about how Jesus did this, how he came upon a blind man and healed him, made him a man who couldn't heal, and healed him. And then the man went to the king of the Jews, and they said, the Jews said, "How dare you? He's not of God. He can't be of God. The Messiah has not come yet. You are a follower of a false God." They prosecuted, not literally, but figuratively, they prosecuted the blind guy for being able to see again, rather than, look, is Jesus the Son of God? Was he conceived immaculately? I mean, these are questions, right? They're just, did the Buddha achieve enlightenment? What is enlightenment? Did Shiva, levitate? And 1,000 yogis after him figure out a way to walk on water? I don't fucking know. I only know my own experience, right? And but Jesus healed. He did. He's a healer. And whenever there's a healer, I'm interested. Right? Some guy who can heal you without even knowing you. The Israeli Antiquities Authority. Authority. I knew the word. The Israel National Parks Authority and the City of David Foundation announced days before the new year that the Pool of Siloam, a biblical site cherished by Christians and Jews, will be open to the public for the first time in 2,000 years in the near future. Wow. Whoa. You talk about a tourist spot. You talk about those Jews riling up the Christians. They got Jerusalem to be the capital city now, took it away from Tel Aviv, and they put the embassy, not the capital. The capital is still Tel Aviv. But they took the U.S. embassy and put it in Jerusalem, closer to Jesus, and thereby making it protected because, hey man, that holds the key, right? Those Palestinians, they got to get the F out of there, man, because they're that's the home of Jesus, right? That's what the Christians all over the world. Part of the oppression of the Palestinian people has to do with that story of the story of Jesus 2,000 years ago, sort of. So, Pool of Solomon excavation is highly significant to Christians around the world, American pastor John Hagee says. So let's see what Jesus did. Here we go. Let's go right to the Bible. Let's go right to the source and find out. Right? So Jesus heals a blind man. You ready? Let's sit back and put a little reverb on. Reverb. As he was walking along, he observed a man who had been blind from birth. His disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that caused him to be born blind? Jesus answered, neither this man nor his parents sinned. This happened so that God's work might be revealed in him. I feel like a preacher right now. Must do the work of the man who sent me. Must do the man of the work who sent me while it is day. Night is approaching, when no one can work. As long as I'm in the world, I am the light of the world. After saying this, he spit on the ground and made mud with the saliva. Then he spread the mud on the eyes of the man and told him, quote, go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent one. So he went off, washed, and came back seeing. Wow. Wow. Right? Shouldn't we be like, wow, holy smokes, he did it. Then the neighbors and those who had previously seen him as a beggar said, this is the man who used to sit and beg, isn't it? Some were saying, it's him, while others were saying, no, but it's someone like him. But he himself kept saying, it's me, I am the blind man. So they asked him, how then did you gain your eyesight? He said, the man named Jesus made some mud, spread it on my eyes. He spat on it, spread it on my eyes and told me, go to Siloam and wash. So off I went and washed and I received my sight. Wow. Now that's a good day, man. Imagine that shit. You're fucking blind and you don't even know who's saying it. You just, some guy walks up to you and he says, hey man, can I pack your eyeballs with mud? I think I can help you. And pow, he could see again. It's fucking amazing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. He performed a miracle. Now we can't confirm the actual story of the man, but we can confirm now the existence of the Pool of Solomon, it seems. And I don't know, the Jews weren't happy about it. The Jews were in the business of miracles and religion. And there were actually a lot of Jesuses at the time, Jesus types, who were doing all kinds of healing. Arguably, a lot of them, and it's a speculation, that a lot of them had studied in India, where this sort of thing, yogi, guru yoga and these types of healing yogas were very commonplace. And there's also allegedly a gap in Jesus's time in Jerusalem, where there were years where nobody knew where he was, and speculation is that he was studying these kind of things, or it was just, hey, Kanti, you just don't believe. You can't. You gotta have faith, man. You don't believe. I do believe. I do believe in the power of healing. I believe. Whether Jesus said I was off in India studying it and helped the guy, or I'm the Son of God and I helped the guy, does it really matter? Does it really matter that Jesus said I'm the Son of God and I helped this man see, or I'm a hidden yogi from India and I helped this guy to see? Either way, you help the guy to see, right? And but the Jews saw it as blasphemy. You can't say God did it. It's not coming from God. It's coming from you. So So number 13. So they brought to the Pharaohs the man who had been blind. Now it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the mud and healed his eyes. So the Pharaohs, those aren't Jews, right? Pharaohs are somebody else, like the Romans or something. Or I don't fucking know. Also began to ask him how he had gained his sight. He told them, he put mud on my eyes, then I washed, and now I can see. Some of the Pharaohs began to remark, this man is not from God because he does not keep the Sabbath. Jesus didn't follow the Jew law. The laws of the Jews, Sabbath, Saturday. He's not one of us, therefore he's not of us. We are of God. Anybody who's not of us and God is therefore of and made of something else, the devil, right? They're
on this side of the aisle, motherfucker.
Right, that's the Pharaohs, right? So they asked him formally, blind man again, what did you say about him? What do you say about him? Since it was your eyes he healed. He replied, he's a prophet. Uh-oh. The Jewish leaders did not believe, they were Jews. The Jews did not believe that the man had been blind and had gained sight only until they summoned his parents. So they didn't even believe he was blind, the Jews. They couldn't believe it until they saw it. They asked the man, is this your son, the one you say was born blind? How does he now see? The parents said, yes, he was blind. He is my son, and said, he's of age. Go ask him yourself. The parents didn't want to go on the record, as saying he was a god, because back in the days they would throw you to the lions, or crucify you, nail you to the fucking cross if they thought you were, pushing up on their religion. Right? So then they asked him, what did you do? What did he do to you? And he told them. He packed the stuff in there, packed the mud. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out, so they threw the guy out. Ever since creation, it has never been heard that anyone healed the eyes of a man who was blind. I'm reading right from the Bible, man. I'm not making this shit up. Right? The Holy Bible. If this man were not from God, he couldn't do anything like that. They asked him, were you born a sinner and you are trying to instruct us? They said, you were born a sinner and you're trying to instruct us? And they threw him out. They couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. The Jew couldn't believe it. The Jew was like, no, this is not possible. This is all fake. Where Ishmael and Habib, come here, and we must talk about this problem of this Jesus healing the blind man. And is it true? What the hell is going on here? So looks like the Jews weren't having it. He answered, and who is he, sir? Tell me, so that I may believe in him. Jesus told him, you have seen him. He is the person who is talking with you. Right. So fascinating, right? There he is. Let's watch some clips. So that's biblical stuff, man. Quinn Smith says that Jesus spit, bro. Right? You got to market it, right? When you go to Siloam, right? You get like Jesus spit. You remember that trumps holy water. No more holy water. It's spit and mud. Right? And you pack yourself in that shit. Right? It's Jesus mud. Right? It's a good moneymaker, man. People are going to flock to Jerusalem to get it. So Pool of Siloam. Let's listen to this guy talk about it.
2004, at the southern end of the city of David, the place where Jerusalem began, a sewage pipe explodes. The municipality sends in construction workers to repair the sewage pipe. But the city of David is not just another part of Jerusalem. And here, when a sewage pipe bursts, you don't only send in construction crews, you also have to send in archaeologists. and they begin to hear from the bulldozers and dump trucks scraping and scratching. It doesn't sound right. They clear everyone out. And it turns out that in repairing the sewage pipe, the construction crews had inadvertently uncovered a series of ancient stone steps.
So this dates back to 2014. Excuse me. I grabbed the wrong button. I'm just dealing with a new technical thing that I'm doing here. What was I going to say? Oh, so it dates back to 2014. That's when the dig was. They started digging in 2004. Get the dates right, Conti. 2004, they dug, they found, and it confirmed the biblical story of Jesus and the Pool of Solomon.
Dating back
This is what it looks like.
thousands of years. And they realized they had discovered the steps leading down to the Pool of Siloam, the Shiloach Pool. Now, what was the Pool
The Shiloach Pool.
of Siloam? To answer that question, we have to go back some 2,700 years to the time of the biblical King Hezekiah, direct descendant of King David. Now, at that time, the armies of King Sennacherib of Assyria are marching on Jerusalem. Hezekiah understands that.
So there's a war. There's a war going on, a biblical war, a political war. Right? There's war going on. The Jews, the Romans, shit was getting hot, and there was a bunch of Jesuses popping up healing blind people. Right? They can't have that shit, man. You gotta, that's like there's some Hindu yogio walking around healing people. We gotta get that guy, man. That guy's valuable, or he's hurting our business, man. Because this is a fucking business, man.
There's going to be war, and
this is an empire, right? And it's going to be war.
He begins making his preparations, and one of the main things he does is to divert the waters of the Gihon Spring, the life source of Jerusalem during the times of the Bible, to flow entirely within the walls of the city of David. The Bible mentions that it was Hezekiah who builds the Pool of Siloam. Where I'm standing right now in the Pool of Siloam dates back some 2,000 years to the end of the Second Temple period. However, archaeologists believe that the original Pool of Siloam, dating back to the time of Hezekiah, is located directly beneath my feet.
So there it is, right? It's a pseudo pool, but they dug it out, man. Look what they found. They found the steps. They found it, and it was there the whole time. Just nobody knew it was there. And let's see. Let's see if the Palestinians, are they going to blow it up? They're going to blow it up, man. They don't want all these Christians and Jews flooding into Israel and Jerusalem and making it a Christian fucking playground. Or do they?
The Pool of
They'd probably benefit from it. They should shut up and let it happen.
Siloam has significance not just for protecting the water of Jerusalem, but also for another reason. The Bible tells us that there were 3 times during the year, Passover, Pentecost, Tabernacles, Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, when all of Israel would have to go on pilgrimage up to the temple. Now, before you can do that, one must purify themselves. The Pool of Siloam was a giant ritual bath, or mikvah, to allow the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions.
A giant ritual bath. Oh man, I love it. Right? Let's bathe together. It's like the Ganges in India. You see that? You see the relevance. Now in India, they've been bathing in the stream of the Ganges for centuries. The healing properties. Yogis would strip down and meditate for hours and smoke the hookah, and then they'd jump into the water and heal themselves. Right? Something like that. Still going on right now. So it's a healing bath, and should make Christians excited. I'd like to go there.
Millions of pilgrims going up to the temple to first purify themselves before beginning their ascent up to the temple from here at the Pool of Siloam. When you're in the place where the Bible happened, the words of the Bible come to life.
Ah, yes. Let's see. Let's find out. These guys, let's see what these crackers are doing.
Jerusalem. And here with me is Danny Ehrman, also known as Danny the Digger, an archaeologist and a tour guide. So Danny, what is unique about this place?
Well, this is one of the few places where through archaeological means you can find a site, a place that is mentioned in the scriptures.
They're lying. They're dirty Jews from Israel. They're fucking Zionists, man. They're trying to they're trying to capitalize and they're trying to monetize Jesus, really. A couple of Jews trying to monetize Jesus. This is a fucking cynical opinion. I apologize, but there's some monetization going on here, I think.
In this case, an event that is mentioned only in the Gospel of John, of Jesus curing a blind person. The place mentioned is the pool of Siloam. And where is it? In 2004, and only in 2004 we actually found it. We thought it was in a different location, but archaeology proved it to be at the very southern end of this slope. Let me show you what it's all about.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to JerusalemExperience.com, the place where you can watch videos from Jerusalem and its holy sites.
The spot of the pool of Siloam was identified in another location, and a big church was built over it. And until 2004, also modern scholarship thought that's the location. But then
it's not so important what the guy is saying, but he's definitely giving us a tour of the spot rather than looking at pictures. So
2004, maintenance work done here uncovered a set of steps. And yet the corner over here seems to indicate it's not some step street, but it's part of a big immersion pool for the public. Here is an assumption of what the whole thing looked like. We are now looking at just the corner of it over.
So it seems like it might have been a pool already in existence. And Jesus just said, hey, go use the pool. Go use the healing pool. Right? It wasn't his pool. It just said, go to the pool of Siloam.
Over here. And this is dated to the time of Jesus. So this, people, is probably the real pool of Siloam.
He said it's probably. It probably is.
This is where Jesus performed his miracle. Where did the water come from? Let's go to the source of the water.
Okay. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me, goddammit. Oh no, no.
But where did the water of this pool come from? What is the source? Where is the spring? You see that the
you get the gist. Let's just look at the pictures. There it is. You know, who the hell wants to listen to this guy? There's a tunnel. There's a tunnel with water flowing water. The tunnel was excavated by 2 teams, one starting at each end of the tunnel. So there's a waterway there and some kind of shit going on there, right? So they found all this. Is it true? Is it false? Is it true? Let's do a survey. Survey says, the question is, one is true story. Jesus healed the blind man. Did Jesus heal the blind man? True. Or 2, false, or fake news. So there you go. Those are the choices. Let's do a survey. Survey says the story. Did Jesus, the man, the legend, the myth, the legend, the God? Is it possible that this is real? Did Jesus, evolve immaculately from the mother? And walk the earth and heal people? Did he walk on water? Because I got to tell you, if Jesus wasn't God, right? If Jesus wasn't determined to be the prophet, the God, seated at the right of the Father, then there is no Christianity. Right? The story of everlasting life in heaven with Jesus, in the same exact form that you're in right now, proves to be false, right? So it is the story is in line. So what do we think? It's a true story. Weevil Girl says it's a true story.
tunnel today ends where the kids are now looking into it.
All right, so there you go, man. Pool of Solomon. Oh my God. So what do you got, man? What do you got? One, it's true. 2, it's fake news. William R. Hall says 1, Jesus the healer. Jesus is winning. Jesus is winning the Weevil Girl says shamanic healer. Shamanic. He's a shaman. Shame on him. Chris Milk says one. Chris Milk says one. I know this. It's a tough story because if you are Christian and you are a follower of Jesus, it I guess it elevates your belief. It should. This is direct evidence that the scripture in the Bible, written long before they actually found the pool, is real, that the pool really exists. Right? Now, did the man, you got to look at, they didn't have doctors and we don't have any medical records and we don't have any eyewitnesses because they're all dead. But was he blind his whole life? How did he suddenly snap out of his blindness? It is a miracle. It is mysterious. And he says Jesus did it. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking fascinating, man. So I don't know. So anyway, Marcus Gandhi reporting. Praise Jesus, says Jan Tones. Prepare for salvation, Quinn Smith. Says I don't know. I mean, true. I think the part. I think it's true. I'm going to go on record. I'll say true. I'll say true in the sense that I do believe that if someone believes in their heart of hearts that why can't they see, right? And even in the Bible, they talked about it in the beginning, the karma. Was it his sin or was it did he inherit the sin from parents? Which is often the case, right? Why is somebody born with Down syndrome? Right? Or fucking, I don't know, pick any ailment. And because they didn't sign up for that. It was someone else's sin that they inherited, I guess. If you want to call it sin or misfortune or whatever. But anyway, man. So thank you all for joining me. Mark Scotty reporting tomorrow. Again, we had a really good guest tomorrow. And I'm happy about that. And thank you all for joining me. On my transitional day here in new media. Feeling pretty good today. I'm going to go out and enjoy myself. Welcome to the new year. It is don't overexert yourself either. Don't. There's a lot of. If you stop for a second, you'll notice a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of anxiety in people. Sorrow, sadness. It was so good back then. When Granny Cat and Batman were alive, playing in the yard, and now they're all gone, and there's a hole in my heart. You could go down that rabbit hole. I could, from experience, and it's not to water down the love I had and the attachments I had for my cats, but to celebrate it as ongoing, that it's a continuation, that if death is real, where does death, if death is the end, where does the end end? There's really no evidence of that in the cosmos. The cosmic gadgetry doesn't really point to death. It points to a kind of an ongoing phenomena where things arise and fall. And they're all interconnected and all part of the bigger picture. They're all one, right? So we are interconnected. So, anyway, man. So thank you for joining me. I'll take us out. I got a little reading. This is called a dedication of merit. It's from a Buddhist tradition, Shambhala Buddhist tradition, and it's a nice way. In Buddhist traditions, they not we, but they. I don't know. Is there a we and a they? I'm no Buddhist, man. Don't put that shit on my head. We do a dedication of merit. By this merit, may all attain omniscience. Omniscience. It means that you obtain some sort of godliness. I'll start over. By this merit, may all attain omniscience. May it defeat the enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves of birth, old age, and sickness, and death, from the ocean of samsara, may I free all beings. By the confidence of the golden sun of the great east, may the lotus garden of the Rigdon's wisdom bloom. May the dark ignorance of sentient beings be dispelled. May all beings enjoy profound, brilliant glory.